Tonight, unemployment reaches levels not seen since the Great Depression, with the president promising a big rebound.
And experts are testing samples from wastewater facilities for COVID-19, what they're hoping to learn.
Plus, anglers are traveling Minnesota looking for that opening day honey hole, why some aren't abiding by the state's stay-at-home order.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Baki.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. An unprecedented 20.5 million jobs were lost in April, a decade of gains wiped out in just a single month.
And it comes as 20 million Americans are still waiting for their stimulus checks. As CBS's Mark Strassman reports, every segment of the workforce has been affected.
Thousands of Hawaiians waited hours for food on Oahu. Financial freefall is now possible, even in paradise. On Long Island, a box of free groceries brought out the newly needy.
It means that I'll be able to eat and hopefully go to the next food drive and get more food next week.
April's job losses were 25 times worse than any single month of the Great Recession. Virtually every sector fell into crisis. Hospitality and travel, 7.7 million jobs lost. Retail lost more than 2 million. Manufacturing and healthcare more than 1 million each. President Trump promised a quick recovery.
And we'll build something that was even better than we had before.
Most states have partially reopened for business. But is it safe?
If they open, will we come? And what we also don't know is what the next wave could look like if the economy doesn't pick up quickly enough for these employers to keep people on the payroll.
Some analysts believe restoring all the lost jobs could take a decade or more, especially hard-hit minority workers. The black unemployment rate is 16.7%. Among Latinos, it's 18.9%.
All of a sudden, we have nothing.
Fabian De Agostini, a father of two, lost his job as a server at the Diplomat Hotel in South Florida.
We don't know when we're going to go back to work and if all of us will be back.
If you dig into today's report, there's actually a bleaker number when you include people who have stopped looking for work. The broader unemployment rate is almost 23%. Experts say that's a Great Depression number.
While people wait to see when and if they can go back to work, many are relying on unemployment. But getting the check is more difficult than some people anticipated. Wisconsin resident Randy Claps says she has yet to receive any money from unemployment despite first filing back in March. She says calling multiple times a day has given her no answers.
This is over a month now, and I got bills and stuff to pay and a child to take care of, and yet I'm sitting here still wondering what's going to happen.
That's something Secretary Caleb Frostman says the Department of Workforce Development is working toward, adding that he recognizes people may be frustrated, but he assures that if someone qualifies, they will get the money.
We're working as hard as we can to get through that backlog of claims that require additional information, some adjudication. But if you've been filing your weekly claims and you are deemed eligible, you'll get all the back pay you're entitled to under either unemployment insurance, PUA, and or the back payments for the $600.
The Department of Workforce Development signed a contract this week for a 500-person call center in hopes of taking more of these claims over the phone.
All right, before we kick off our fishing coverage, let's check in with Dave, who's going to give us just a little peek at what anglers might be able to expect on the lake tomorrow. Hey, Dave.
Well, Tony, Minnesota anglers usually expect pretty chilly conditions. What was it, 2012, 2013, the years we hardly had an opener because the lakes were still frozen over? Well, it won't be that chilly tomorrow morning, but it is going to be brisk. That's because Arctic air has conquered the eastern half of the United States, sending the Northeast into the biggest deep freeze, relatively speaking, and folks there could get a snowstorm. Here, just chilly temperatures followed by a sunnier sky. So the upper Midwest situation shows the higher pressure allowing in cool conditions, but when day dawns tomorrow, it should come up sunny again, at least during the daylight hours. That low pressure system to the west, though, could bring us a chance for rain, even flurries Saturday night into Sunday. But first, we talk about the vision forecast for Minnesota folks, and it'll be around wrong forecast. Doggone it. Well, it'll be around, I'm thinking, 24 degrees tomorrow morning with a north wind 5 to 15. Any warm-up in sight this week? You can see right there is one coming, and we'll talk more about it in just a little bit.
Thanks, Dave. Minnesota fishing license sales have skyrocketed this year. As of May 1st, sales were up 48% over last year, and fishing licenses for 16 and 17-year-olds are up 105%. A reminder, you don't need a license if you're under 16. Well, this means an increase in business for some. Other businesses are not able to cash in because they're still closed under Governor Tim Walz's order. CBS 3's Emma Quinn spoke with several businesses about how they're dealing with the impact as the busiest fishing weekend approaches.
As Minnesota's fishing season begins Saturday, some businesses are seeing customers come through the door, even during the COVID-19 pandemic.
After we hit February, we thought it would be a record year, and it didn't miss a beat. It just kept on going. And we did a lot of curbside. We did a lot of mail order and things like that.
Marine General owner Russ Francisco credits being near Lake Superior for helping business during the pandemic.
In fact, we sold our entire year's worth of long rods in April because there were so many kids going.
But not everyone has been able to cash in on the boom in fishing license sales. For family-owned Rainy Lakes houseboats near International Falls, they've had to stay closed under Governor Walz's orders.
As a licensed resort, we understood that we were good to go and started to prepare to get things ready. Then on Monday, May 5th, we were notified that we were restricted and would not be able to rent a houseboat.
This year would have marked the family's 102nd consecutive fishing season opener, and the pandemic forcing them to stay closed is having a major financial impact.
We haven't been able to get employees back as early with this epidemic. If we can get back to doing what we do, there's a chance.
Now, Rainy Lakes and other resort businesses who are struggling are asking the state and 8th District Congressman Pete Stauber for help.
Later today, we will move forward with the request to reopen our houseboat rental businesses by lifting the current restrictions that are in place.
All in hopes they can make up for lost finances and cash in on fishing season.
The Dohertys say they have had COVID-19 precautions in place, which include which boats they'll rent due to social distancing, extra sanitizing efforts, and changes to how they'll interact with customers. Meanwhile, the DNR and the Minnesota Department of Health have implemented several guidelines for anglers this season. They say no overnight stays, bring all the supplies you need with you, and only go as far as you can travel and return on a single tank of gas.
And while those guidelines are in place, will they be followed? The Quick Trip in Cloquet was packed this afternoon with anglers stopping for gas as they head to their fishing destinations. Many told us they were excited to reel in a big catch this weekend. They also said they traveled far to get here. Some coming from Rochester, Zumbrota, and Prior Lake, a couple of those places more than 3 hours from here. That goes against the state's recommendations about staying close to home. Here's what the anglers had to say about that.
I'm going to take precautions. I'll only have 2 people in the boat, and they'll both be family. It'll be me and my son.
I look at them as guidelines, not restrictions. So obviously, because we're traveling, and I don't see a problem with what we're doing. You know, we're trying to follow the rules.
I think the restrictions should be lifted. I think we need to go back to work and get our country back in gear. Hopefully we don't freeze to death. We catch some fish.
The anglers we spoke with said they were heading to Ely and Lake Capitogama. Here's a list of what is open for business and what's not when it comes to fishing in Minnesota. Bait shops are open, so are state parks, but only for day use. Camping, lodging, and group rental facilities are closed until at least May 18th under the governor's order.
New at 10, another employee at the Cloquet USG plant has tested positive for COVID-19. That brings the total number of cases connected with the facility to 4. USG says this employee has not been at the facility since April 29th. The first case was announced earlier in April. 2 additional employees tested positive earlier this week. The plant conducted a thorough cleaning in accordance with CDC and WHO guidelines.
A new testing strategy for COVID-19 is underway in Duluth. 2 professors at the University of Minnesota Medical School Duluth campus led the initiative to test samples from 50 wastewater treatment facilities statewide for COVID-19. Researchers have linked other strains of coronavirus to symptoms of gastrointestinal distress. One of the professors tells us researchers have been working closely with WLSSD in Duluth for water samples. They say the strategy may help state leaders and healthcare professionals overcome limited testing options.
because we know that testing is limited, this is a way for us to see how many people are possibly infected within the population and then track that over time without the need for individuals to be tested one by one.
The professor says they have not yet traced any virus particles in their samples, but it is possible. They are in the very early stages of the research.
Still to come, border towns are hit particularly hard during the pandemic, how they're dealing with 2 different countries' orders.
Plus, Dave will have a look at your extended weather forecast right after the break.
Live, local, CBS3 News at 10. With Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS3. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live, local, CBS3 Duluth.
When one door closes, another opens. Open the door to memories ready to be unpacked. Kick off the next great adventure. Open the door to new possibilities. Superior Choice Credit Union. This is our currency.
From plants to patio sets, Fleet Farm has everything you need for spring fever. Whether it's checking chores off your list or checking out a new grill, Fleet Farm has spring savings on things like mix or match annual flowers and vegetables, just $19.99. And Scott's Color Stay Mulch, 4 bags for $10. That's why people say, if Fleet Farm doesn't have it, you don't need it. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
May is Maytag month at Johnson Mertz, and there's no better time than right now to get huge savings on dependable Maytag appliances. Every Maytag laundry and kitchen appliance is on sale and includes additional factory rebates and incentives, plus 0% financing for 12 months. So stop in now and get your dependable Maytag appliances from Johnson Mertz, the Northland's most knowledgeable appliance experts. Johnson Mertz, it's a trusted name.
Did you know that over 90% of today's top-rated television shows can be watched for free, including live sports, news, and the hottest sitcoms, all for free with TV Freeway Gold. Simply plug it into the back of your TV and start watching all of your favorite HD broadcast television shows free. TV Freeway Gold uses premium gold-plated connectors, giving you high-quality signal transfer so you can watch all your major channels, all in high definition, absolutely free, anywhere you want, even on your boat. So you can cut the cord and get TV the freeway with TV Freeway Gold for only $19.99 for free TV forever. But when you order now, you can get a second TV Freeway Gold for a second TV. Just pay a separate fee, and we'll ship them both to you free. But you have to order now.
Call 1-800-408-5417. That's 1-800-408-5417. Or visit tvfreewaygold.com. Order now.
The College of St. Scholastica has always been a leader in healthcare education. Online, in Duluth, and throughout Minnesota. Earn your certificate or degree in an in-demand field. Choose your path at css.edu/health.
Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app.
The chill is on and likely will last in our region through the week, and slowly next week we will start to warm up. This morning was pretty brisk. Some towns up north, like Silver Bay and Ely, dropped into the teens. Tonight will probably be a hair warmer, dropping into the 20s, but we're on our way. So let's get a look at the current conditions around our area, which show a clear sky from high pressure still controlling the area, and current temperatures probably around 30 degrees for most places, though Mercer's down to 29. Looks like the range of low temps, I think, in Minnesota tomorrow morning should go 20 to 25 as you're getting out to fish. And in Wisconsin, second weekend of fishing, probably mid to maybe upper 20s there. It'll be brisk on both counts, but perhaps not as bad as it will be towards places like Maine, where they're expecting a low pressure system to bring measurable snow here, getting close to the middle parts of May. That's technically still early part of May. Tomorrow will be the 9th. Current conditions at the airport, 38 degrees there. Northwesterly wind is down to 3 miles per hour, so that's slacking off a little bit. Still, though, could pick up towards 15. So when you're out on the boat, whatever state you're on tomorrow, do wear your life jacket. Air pressure on the high side at 1,022 millibars. Relative humidity going up a little bit, 36% again, thanks to temperature getting closer to the dew point rather than actually increasing the humidity levels in the atmosphere. All right, current Doppler map. higher pressure in control, keeping the sky on the clear side all around our region, except for a little bit of flurry activity at the very tip of the arrowhead here. Some of that's crossing over to the UP. So clear and cold is the gist of what we're getting here tonight through tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow, thanks to the high pressure system in control one more day, should be on the cool side, but the sunny side. Until we get into the evening, then that low pressure system from the west comes around, and it brings us about a 30% chance for some rain showers when it's warm enough, and then when the sun sets and it's cool enough, we could get a couple of snow flurries ourselves here in the area that could last through Sunday morning. We do need the precip. This isn't going to be much, but we'll take whatever little bit we get because it could dry up as early as Sunday afternoon. Forecast now tonight in Minnesota. That's showing low temps, like I mentioned, in the low to mid-20s for most towns. Maybe upper 20s to the south of Duluth. Clear to partly cloudy sky for everybody, including folks in Wisconsin and Michigan, where low temps there will be in the mid to upper 20s. Northwesterly wind again could run anywhere from 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wisconsin and Michigan tomorrow will be eyeing up highs that'll run roughly from 50 to 55 degrees. Warmer than today, but still cooler than normal. Partly cloudy day, followed by that shower chance at night. And that's the same regime we'll follow in Minnesota. Partly cloudy day, shower chance at night with lakeside highs in the 40s and inland high temps going about 50 to 53 degrees. Our extended forecast does show a slow, steady warm-up as the week goes on. And by next Friday, we might be back to 60 degrees, which is where we're supposed to be this time of year. As far as precip chances go, the one Sunday will then come around again come Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That second go-around could be a better one, Tony. So to keep the fire danger down, we'll pin our hopes on that one.
Yeah, that sounds good. I know a lot of people getting excited to get on the water tomorrow for Minnesota's opener. So we look forward to that. Thanks, Dave.
Minnesotans across the state are feeling the impact of COVID-19 and the stay-at-home order, and that includes people on the northern border. The small town of International Falls is seeing the effects from all sides. John Lawrenson has the story.
Horrible. It's horrible. There's nothing open. I mean, anything you go to do, it's just, there's nothing open.
In one of the most northern cities in the North Star State.
Business has definitely been affected by it. Half the town's shut down.
A community that relies heavily on summer tourist dollars is starting to wonder how they'll get by.
Businesses in International Falls aren't just dealing with what's happening in Minnesota. They're impacted by what's happening in another country. And they don't know when Canada will open its side of the border.
Gas stations in town have lost money from Canadians who usually cross over to buy cheaper gas. The same goes for Menards, which does a lot of border business with Canadian customers.
We're not able to get any first-hand information from anybody across the border.
Tony Girulli is co-owner of Sammy's Pizza. Deliveries and takeout keep things going.
Total comes to $12.36.
But their sales are still down about 50%. Normally the fishing season helps, but they can't count on that this year.
There's not too many people coming to International Falls to vacation in January. May through September, you know, the town triples just with all the people on the lake.
A couple blocks away, Sportsman Service should be getting ready for Minnesotans heading north for next weekend's Canadian fishing opener. But co-owner Aaron Schuff says the only people getting across right now are essential employees and first responders.
By now it should be picking up, and it's just not. It's still pretty slow.
While Canada has far fewer COVID cases than the U.S., the feeling in International Falls is that the Canadian government is stricter, which means that even if the stay-at-home order is lifted here, it only solves half the problem.
Yeah, we can open our border and, you know, or they could loosen restrictions our way, but it's going back the other way is where it's going to be the hang-up.
Schuff said there is already talk that some businesses in I-Falls will have to close for good, even after restrictions are lifted.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, after 35 days in the ICU, we're hearing from a Michigan woman who has recovered from the coronavirus. Her story up next.
CBS 3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Lose up to 1 pound a day with Healthy Systems USA and get a free bottle of hand sanitizer with purchase of our amazing weight loss program. No exercise, no processed food. Eat real foods you love. Lose up to 30 to 50 pounds for this summer. Plus, we'll ship it to you for free. Call now or order online.
Mariah Haberman here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the DW crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on social media and discoverwisconsin.com for behind-the-scenes content and great Wisconsin giveaways, including a chance to win a free vacation. This week's featured prize package could take you to the Hayward Lakes area. Just visit discoverwisconsin.com for details.
Find the home of your dreams with Homes by Edmunds. Whether you're buying or selling, trust Duluth's oldest real estate company. Homes by Edmunds, LLP. Sunday mornings at 10:30 on CBS3.
Hi, I'm Dr. Elizabeth Revore with St. Luke's Obstetrics and Gynecology Associates. I grew up in northern Minnesota. I was born at St. Luke's, and all my children were born at St. Luke's. So I've been in practice for 23 years. I have patients that I've cared for 23 years. You build such a relationship of trust between the two of you, and I feel like mutual respect as well. I think the most rewarding part of my job is to know that I've had a positive influence on somebody's life.
I'm Tom Tiffany, and I approve this message.
Who is Tricia Zunker? A leader of a far-left group that advocates for late-term abortion. A supporter of releasing violent prisoners into our community during a pandemic. And a radical liberal, Zunker would give free health care to illegal immigrants, further crowding our hospitals, putting your family in the back of the line, and making you pay for it. That's Tricia Zunker, and why we must stop her on May 12th.
Wash your hands, avoid sick people, and touching your face. There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. Brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on live local CBS3 Duluth.
Lose up to 1 pound a day with Healthy Systems USA and get a free bottle of hand sanitizer with purchase of our amazing weight loss program. No exercise, no processed food. Eat real foods you love. Lose up to 30 to 50 pounds for this summer. Plus, we'll ship it to you for free. Call now or order online.
Northwest Outlet is open for business. Now save up to 40% off store-wide.
You work hard for your money and deserve to see it go the extra mile. Join us Wednesday mornings and hear from local experts on tips to better manage your finances in Eye on Money on live local CBS3. Brought to you by MPPL Financial.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
While cases of COVID-19 continue to rise across the country, recoveries are an important statistic as well. Now, one Michigan woman can put her name under that category.
This is heaven. It's been a miraculous journey.
But certainly not an easy one.
I am so grateful to be here.
And to be able to go home with her family. Janine Thalen was brought to Sparrow Hospital on March 15th, almost 2 months ago.
And she was in ICU for 35 days.
The staff at Sparrow say they have learned a lot from her case.
Although COVID-19 is just terrible, you can survive it, and even in the darkest times, when your patient's not doing well, we're like, Janine did it. We can do it for this person too.
On the final day of Janine's stay at the hospital, she was cheered on by family, friends, and the staff that had been with her throughout her road to recovery.
It was very emotional, very heartwarming to know that many people are so invested in my outcome. It was wonderful.
Just before Janine left, her husband says he felt extreme joy, relief that this was all over.
You don't really know how hard it hits you until you have someone close to you affected as severely as it was to our family. And then it gives a little better perspective.
But I was lucky enough to be one that could beat the odds.
I've got my wife back after some close calls.
Coming up in sports, hear from UMD women's hockey and their newest team captain. Kelly has a story coming up.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on live local CBS3.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Dunkin' to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
While typical politicians point fingers, Tom Tiffany is taking action to get our economy moving again while protecting our most vulnerable, expanding senior care and cutting copays for testing, securing critical aid for tourism, agriculture, and forest products industries. Tom Tiffany delivers for our communities. He'll do even more in Congress.
Tom Tiffany here. I approve this message and ask for your vote May 12th so we can get back to work safely and, most importantly, together.
Years fly by. Your retirement date keeps getting closer. Rather than spending another year worrying about retirement, get a second opinion on your financial strategy. Let us answer your questions and show you how tax reduction strategies can benefit your retirement. Go to MPPLFinancial.com to download our free tax reduction checklist. Then call MPPL Financial this week for a complimentary second opinion consultation. A second opinion could be your best 2020 financial investment.
New Duluth Auto is the Duluth used car dealer. We have plenty of makes and models to choose from. Nissan, Honda, Toyota, and we even carry multiple options for our most popular vehicle, the Subaru Forester. Large cargo space, all-wheel drive, what's not to love? All of our vehicles are priced under $20,000. To make these deals even sweeter, there is a 1 to 5 year warranty included on all vehicles. Give us a call, stop by, or view our inventory online at newduluthauto.net. Because here at New Duluth Auto, we are your Duluth used car dealer.
Vaping has been declared a national epidemic among youth. 1 in 3 high schoolers vape in northeastern Minnesota.
My child started having seizures from vaping. There's still so many unknown chemicals.
One vape cartridge has as much nicotine as at least 2 packs of cigarettes.
My child was hospitalized with severe lung injuries.
They said it was no big deal.
My child said it was no risk.
That it was under control.
That's what my child said. But what could I have said? Get the facts and talk to your child today.
I am most excited about getting to really know the Brewers in the Northland and getting to show my personality too and letting the Northland kind of get to know me. I'm a very energetic person. I'm always at 100 and I'm always excited to be able to tell stories and being able to have a little bit of fun with it too. And I think that's really, really important on a morning show as well because you need that energy in the morning to wake you up.
Wake up with Austin and Jenna at 5 a.m.
Community service isn't necessarily something that the UMD Athletics Department necessarily boasts as much as a big win or a solid box score, but it is something that the university has instilled into their student athletes as a major part of their college athletics experience. A recipient of both the Pat Francisco Community Service Award and the Sean Podine Community Service Award, UMD men's hockey senior Jade Miller has been involved in a number of different community service projects and volunteer opportunities during his time at UMD. The Minto, North Dakota native spent time as a coach with the Minnesota Wild Special Hockey Program, which is a program for kids and adults with special needs. Miller has also paid visits to hospitals in Duluth, Superior, the Twin Cities, and Buffalo, New York. He's also spent the final 2 years of his collegiate career as a chapel leader for the team. But when I talked to Miller about all these things that he's been involved in, he was quick to say that that is just how the Bulldogs do things around here.
I think when people come into UMD, their goal is to be better hockey players, and I think the coaches really do a good job of making sure you're better people by the time you leave school. And I think I really saw that my freshman year, and that kind of became the focal point for me. Was obviously with how big hockey is in this town, you can kind of use it as a platform to, go out of your way and help other people and hopefully put a smile on their face. And whether it's for 4 years and they don't know who you are anymore, but at the time you're kind of larger than life to and hopefully just trying to set a good example for guys to follow.
As the UMD women's hockey team says goodbye to a star-studded senior class, they usher in the next group of seasoned leaders to the helm. As announced by the team last night, next year's captain will be Ashton Bell. The winger-turned-defenseman led all WCHA Blue Liners in points last season with 32. 11 of those were goals. She was named UMD Co-Breakthrough Player of the Year along with Kylie Hanley. If you like the plus-minus stat, she had a team-high rating of plus 23. Bell will be joined by assistant captains Anna Klein and Mackenzie Revering, a group of teammates who are already very close.
We're very close. We've been living with each other now these past 2 years, and they all bring, I think we all bring like something different to the table, so we're like a very well-rounded group, and they're both show really great leadership qualities, so I'm just excited to get to work with them and help lead this team. It's a huge honor to be named a captain in this program, and I'm just very excited to get the season started.
Well, last week, the Duluth Denfeld robotics team was supposed to have been in Detroit for the World Robotics Championships after one of their best performances in recent years. The Hunters team of just over 20 students had built a robot standing over 3.5 feet tall and weighing 125 pounds. At the beginning of the year, they were given a challenge for the robot to perform shooting foam balls into an elevated goal. They worked for about 8 weeks designing the robot and fundraising for the build.
Kind of an interesting system, I thought, is we had a conveyor system running from the front to the back where we had a turret up on the top, and we would sit behind one of the game elements, and we would auto lock onto that outer target and be able to shoot across the field fairly accurately into that goal.
Vision processing has been a part of a first for a long time. They always put reflective tape on the field for teams to be able to lock on. We're definitely not the first to do it, but this is the first year our team has been able to utilize it effectively.
That's going to do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Skin Renewal Center, reminding you to apply sunscreen 15 minutes before heading out for fun in the sun.
Through all the world events since 1936, Culligan Water has continued to provide better, safer water with our filtration systems for homes and businesses. These days, as a designated essential business, Culligan's water professionals are standing by, ready to help.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV. Well, I get tons of HD. Spectrum has tons of HD. And we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals. I don't have that. Plus, sometimes in the rain, our services go out. Because of the dish on your roof?
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-916-4499.
And Spectrum Internet starts at 100 megabits with no data caps and a free modem. We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel. Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours. That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-916-4499.
Here at the Colorado Group, the health and well-being of our customers and employees is our top priority. Kohler has been privileged to serve this community for over 50 years. Our sales, service, and parts departments are open to serve you by appointment in order to provide a safe and healthy dealership visit. If you cannot make it to us, we will gladly come to you with a non-contact shopping or service experience. Please visit Colorado.com to set up your appointment today at any one of our family-owned dealerships.
I'm Tricia Zunker, and I approve this message.
Tricia Zunker, a community leader we can trust to put politics aside and deliver on healthcare and jobs when we need it most. Not Tom Tiffany. He opposed the law that protects patients with pre-existing conditions who are most at risk for COVID-19. And he spoke against the bipartisan bill signed by President Trump to help small businesses hit hard by the pandemic. Tom Tiffany. Bad for our health and economy.
The American Red Cross urgently needs blood and platelet donations and asks healthy donors to schedule an appointment to give during this coronavirus outbreak. Patients are counting on life-saving transfusions. Visit redcrossblood.org.
For the news that impacts you most, turn to live local CBS 3.
Wake up with Austin and Jenna at 5 a.m.
We'll leave you with this sweet story tonight. 5-year-old Kaya has spent much of her young life battling leukemia, and today marked a big milestone in her battle. Kaya had her final round of chemotherapy. To celebrate, dozens of supporters hopped in their cars and drove down Beverly Street, greeting the family in the Morgan Park neighborhood. Vehicles were decorated, and even signs were made that read Super Kaya, a nickname given to her by her mom.
I mean, she's a very strong young girl. Good, a lot of family support. Yeah, it's a pretty touching story. I can't even imagine.
On top of the parade, the family says they will continue to celebrate by doing some of her favorite activities, such as singing and dancing. Way to go, Kaya.
Congratulations,
yes,
Kaya. What
absolutely.
an accomplishment.
Thanks for joining us.
Have a great weekend.